Okay. Unfortunately, guys, Halloween has passed. It is come and gone. The best time of year has come and gone. But we shouldn't we shouldn't be sad that it's over. We should be happy that it even happened. We should be happy it happened at all. And I'm going to do that by doing a compilation of something I did over on TikTok. Yeah, so for this October season, I attempted to do a thing where every night I would watch a horror movie from my Letterboxd watch list, and I didn't get every night, not even close, but I still collected a pretty good list of movies, so I've made a compilation of them, and I think I did a good job reviewing some of them. Some of them I got home late and I watched it and I was just like, it's fine, whatever. And some of them I feel like I did a good job of getting my thoughts across, and I made a few jokes. It's kind of funny. I had a really funny rant about that terrible Ed Gein show. So yeah, and me and a friend did a cool thing that is kind of represented here. So yeah, check it out, if for nothing else, just for a good list of movies I recommended. And I think I might continue doing something like this over on TikTok, so follow me there. Without any further ado, here's the video. It's October 1st, which means it's spooky season, which means, horror movies. I mean, I watch horror movies like every day, but like, I have decided that this month I'm gonna try and take some stuff off my Letterboxd watch list. And so every day this month in October, I'm gonna try and watch specifically horror movies, but watch a movie from my watch list. The first movie up is Together. Yeah. Why do they have to make this so loud? I'm the only one awake right now. Everyone else is asleep. Stop telling on me. Alright, so I just watched Together, and I like that way more than I thought I was going to. Together is a body horror movie starring a real-life couple, Dave Franco and Alison Brie. Alison Brie from Community, Dave Franco from just being Dave Franco, I guess. Yeah, I know he's in stuff. Shut up. In the movie, they play a couple, and they have something happen to them, which makes them kind of fuse together, and and that makes body horror stuff happen. It's really creepy. I'm doing this right after watching it, so my thoughts are kind of scattered. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed that, which I didn't think I was going to at first, because, well, one, there's a lot of that type of writing that's oh, as you know, or you and my sister, people saying stuff to each other that you wouldn't say to someone because they would already know that, but the audience needs to know that, so they say it in an unnatural way. I hope that made sense, but you know what I'm talking about. When people are like, man, you're my best friend, and they say it so the audience needs to know that. There was a lot of that type of dialogue in the beginning, and at the beginning it was really cliched. It was just a lot of stuff we had really seen before, oh, we're doing a parent who had recently died, we're doing a grief type thing, and then, oh, the thing that is scary at the moment is a representation of his grief, and it's a smiling lady and who's got creepy glowing eyes. Oh, she keeps popping up in dream sequences. I feel that I was watching it, it just felt like what every horror movie is like nowadays. None of that's bad on its own, but I just feel I see that in every movie. The couple's also moving to a new place in the middle of the woods. There's a kind of off-putting neighbor. It feels like we're just doing what every movie does, you know? There's even a part where I kid you not, she says that she doesn't have cell reception. like there's no reception on her phone. That's like one of the most made fun of cliches ever, and I know that happens, but like they even did it after she fell into like a puddle of water. Just say the phone got wet. I don't like, yeah. So at first it seemed like it was really cliched and like it was just like every other horror movie nowadays. But then when it really like started getting going and really like the premise of the movie really kicked in, like they were beginning to fuse together and stuff like that. Then that's when you got like really creative like sequences, really great body horror, like just the movie just started going after that. And like you also it started to kind of show off a bit more personality in the movie, more creative filmmaking. It was just really good after that. There's also a lot of really great like character drama, and also the performances. I knew Alison Brie could act. I know her from Community, but I've seen her in other things. I know that she can act, but I didn't know Dave Franco really like could act, you know? I've only seen him in a couple comedies. To me, he's just James Franco's brother. It seems like he's trying to distance himself from like just being James Franco's brother and, you know, start his own thing. Probably for good reasons, but you know what I mean. I don't think you really want to be known as James Franco's brother, at least not at this point. I really enjoyed it. It took a bit to get there. It's not like a slow burn. It just didn't really grip me in the first half. But you know what this movie is? It's like The Thing if it was a romantic movie, you know, more so than it already is. I feel like the beginning with the dogs was like a direct reference to The Thing now that I like think about it. Because I thought about that when I was watching it. Completely scatterbrained right now, but like I highly recommend it. I really enjoyed it. It's day 2 of watching horror movies from my Letterboxd watch list for spooky season, and today is WNUF Halloween special. So yeah. Okay, I forgot to talk about it, but last night I watched a WNUF Halloween special, and it was interesting. It's not really a plot or character movie, it's more just about like a vibe and experience, and I thought it was an interesting experience. It's essentially made to look like it's a movie that came out in 2013, but it's made to look like a late 90s news broadcast where they're doing like a Halloween special where like a camera crew and a knockoff Ed and Lorraine Warren are going to a haunted house to investigate it. And it's full of the commercials and like drug PSAs and political ads, and it's all very authentic. It looks like it's been ran through like 30 VHSs, so it's all grainy and like it looks old, but it was made in 2013. But like I said, it's not really about plot or characters. That's not really what it's about. It's more about the experience and like giving you that nostalgic TV almost family friendly like Halloween feel. And it's pretty good at that, but I do have to say the charm wears a little thin after a while, because this thing is mostly like fake ads for like TV movies and fake products and stuff, which is charming at first, but then it feels like real ads at a certain point when it just feels like it's interrupting what you're watching, which I mean is accurate to how TV used to be, but still, it at a certain point I was like, can we just get on with it? But I thought it was an interesting experience, and it did bring the October Halloween vibe. So if it sounds interesting to you, you should check it out. Okay, so it's late, and I have to get up slightly early tomorrow. So we're gonna watch the original House of Wax, the one from the 50s, because it's pretty short, and yeah. I wanted to give more of an in-depth review, but I'm tired and I'm going to bed. It was fine. Okay, so I missed yesterday's, and because yesterday I was working, and then I needed to like just crash and go to bed. So today we're gonna watch something from my watch list again. It's not a movie, but I put it on my watch list because I was morbidly curious about it. I don't expect it to be good. Um, but I'm still curious about it. So today we're gonna watch the Ed Gein show that just came out. Okay, I I I don't. I'm not like a true crime expert, and I'm not like a serial killer expert. But like, I need to ask. I don't know how well it's gonna come up on the phone.
Hello? You're not from Plainfield, are you?
What?
Eddie, leave the girls alone. Don't mean nothing by it.
Did, I have to ask anybody who knows. Did Ed Gein talk like that? Is that how he talked? Like, what is the voice he's doing? Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, Ed Gein was he was a serial killer. You know who Ed Gein is, but he was the influence for a whole bunch of movie horror villains, and you need to know that because that's very important to the show for some reason. Even before it came out, there was a bunch of posters of him replicating famous like images from horror movies that like he inspired. Uh, and this show, the second episode in particular, we're getting parts of Ed Gein's story, and then it flashes forward to the making of the movie Psycho, which was influenced by Ed Gein's killings. And I'm just like, what are we trying to say with this? Because it seems like they're trying to say, man, isn't it scummy that Hollywood and directors and the guy who wrote the Psycho book are making entertainment out of such a horrible thing? And if they are saying that, dude, people who make this show, that's what you're doing. That's pretty hypocritical. That is literally what you are doing. And if they're not saying that, if they're going the opposite route and they're trying to like show Hitchcock be scummy and make entertainment out of Ed Gein's thing uh, to like skirt criticism, that's also pretty scummy because at least they had the decency, if they were going to make something Ed Gein inspired, to just make up a whole new thing and not exploit a tragedy. What were we even doing with that whole thing? And it seems like they were trying to compare Anthony Perkins, the man who played Norman Bates, who was the killer in Psycho and was in the character of Norman Bates was influenced by Ed Gein. Anthony Perkins was the actor who was playing Norman Bates, and it was the '60s, and he was a closeted gay man, and you couldn't be out in the '60s, and it genuinely seemed like the show was comparing him being a closeted gay man to Ed Gein's whole thing. What? No, not the same thing. They were also seems like they were comparing Alfred Hitchcock to Ed Gein. It seemed like they were genuinely trying to suggest, oh, these guys aren't that different from Ed Gein. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Not at all the same. There's nothing wrong with. Jesus Christ. I don't know what I keep trying to come at it from like a new angle. I don't know what they were trying to say with that whole episode or the show in general. Cuz it seems like they're trying to like put some social commentary on it, but I don't know what they're trying to say. Are they trying to say that Anthony Perkins and Alfred Hitchcock are not so different from Ed Gein? Because yes, they are. Completely different. There's nothing wrong with Anthony Perkins. He was just a gay man. There's nothing wrong with that. You can't compare that to Ed Gein. That man's messed up. There's nothing. Alfred Hitchcock was also messed up. Not in the same way at all. He was just kind of a scummy guy. I don't know. Apparently, they go on and do this again with like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I saw a clip of that. what are we doing? Okay, the whole Anthony Perkins the whole Psycho thing of them making Psycho or whatever, that was like half the episode of the second episode. And in the first episode, it was just kind of a regular true crime thing. And we got little snippets of this Nazi lady that apparently Ed Gein was inspired by. I, well, we were getting her story. What was the point of that? Why were we showing that? It's when they were researching the show, did they just think to themselves, you know what? Outside of murdering people, Ed Gein's not that interesting. So we need to fill up the show with some random stuff, because that's what it feels like. I don't know what's happening. Okay, let's get this out of the way. I know I said his voice was annoying, but like Charlie Hunnam, genuinely incredible performance just because like he disappears. Problem is, it's barely like it seems like this show is not actually interested in like depicting the events. It seems like it's more interested in showing you, yeah, this is the guy that inspired those movies. Cuz like it's constantly like recreating shots from Psycho and like constantly referencing like scenes from Psycho and like do having him do stuff that like he characters that are based on him do in other movies just as like references and stuff just to show you, yeah, this is the real deal. This is the guy that inspired those movies. But it doesn't seem like it's actually trying to depict what happened in real life. It doesn't actually seem like it's trying to like develop the character of Ed Gein. That sounds weird to say, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know what the fuck. There's so many attempts at like style. They like intercut Ed Gein killing a woman in the shower. And yes, it is shot like in Psycho, but they intercut it with audience's reaction to the shower scene from Psycho. And I don't like what the fuck. It's so weird. And you see like Alfred Hitchcock like being like, yeah, I got that reaction out of people because people were horrified by it. And it again, it seems like it's trying to suggest that like, oh yeah, he's not that different. It seems like they're trying to be like, oh yeah, no, we're all a little messed up. No, we're not. Not like Ed Gein. Like the whole point of a true crime thing is like trying to figure out the mind of a serial killer, but it seems like it's not interested in that at all. I don't know. This I didn't know what to expect, but somehow it went off the rails. Look, say whatever you want about the Jeffrey Dahmer show. I know that was also like kind of scummy and like that has its own issues, but at least it seemed like they actually tried to depict Jeffrey Dahmer and the things he did and the events that happened. I don't even know what this is going for. Like, it's actually insane. I, I don't I don't know, man. Ryan Murphy, you are a plague on television. Watching horror movies from my letterbox watch list for spooky season. Tonight we're watching Rec 2. I've only seen Rec 1, and I think weirdly enough I might have saw 3 and 4, but I don't remember. Tonight we're watching Rec 2, and we're crossing it off my letterbox watch list. So last night I watched Rec 2, and Rec 1 is one of the creepiest both found footage and zombie movies I've ever seen in my life. So I was excited to watch Rec 2, and I am happy to say that it is probably as good as the original one. So the first movie follows a news camera team as they go into this building because they're following firefighters, I think. They go into this building and they end up getting quarantined into this building because there's creepy infection zombie stuff happening. If it sounds familiar, that's because it's also the plot of Quarantine, which is the American remake of Rec, but not as good as Rec. It's fine. Rec 2 is a SWAT team going into the same building, only a little bit later, to can't remember, like, the help or whatever. And the SWAT team has cameras on their helmets, so it's really cool. It's basically like first person. Rec 2 does what like any good sequel should do, and it gives you what you want from the first movie, but expands on like the lore and continues the story. So if you want to check out both Rec 1 and 2, they're really good. I don't actually think I've seen either one of these, but I've heard they're bad. Yet again, we are watching horror movies from my Letterboxd watch list, and tonight we're watching Good Boy. Well, that was an odd and disturbing little movie. I don't know how I feel about that one. I thought it was really interesting, and then it kind of lost me toward the end, but, yeah, Good Boy. It's about a guy who starts dating a girl, and the girl's into him, but then she finds that he has a pet dog. Problem is, it is very obvious that the dog is actually just a dude in a dog suit. Is this a weird kinky sex thing? Is this just a weird roommate situation? Who knows? Yeah, it goes places. But yeah. That was really interesting. I am glad I watched that, but it was odd. I have a friend who, I think I gotta show this to him. He likes stuff like this. Yeah, Good Boy. Check it out. No Letterboxd watch list thing tonight. Me and a friend are going to Evil Dead in Concert, which is when the movie's playing and a live orchestra is doing the music, and it sounds cool, so we're going to that. Yeah, that should be fun. Say hi, Cody.
Hello, I'm watching a fight.
Nice. Alright, watching horror movies from my Letterboxd watch list, and tonight we're watching House of Eden, which I was interested in because it's made by a YouTuber slash TikToker called Call Me Chris, and I've seen a few of her videos. She's pretty funny, but yeah, she made a movie, and it apparently went to theaters and is now on Shudder, so I'm gonna check it out. It's on my watch list. Okay, so it is a nice rainy day, and last night I watched House on Eden. I think I called it House of Eden, but it's House on Eden. And I don't really know, I guess I don't really understand why was this made. Okay, I guess not really why was it made, but like, I know Call Me Chris, and I don't know who the other lady is, but they're both YouTubers. I'm wondering if, like, are they, like, filmmakers as well? Like, do they want to be, like, filmmakers? Like, do they want to make movies? Because I was watching the movie, and, like, it was just kind of, like, it was a YouTube video. Like, it was meant to be, like, a YouTube video. And I understand if you're a content creator who wants to make a movie, you would stay within your wheelhouse, so it makes sense to do it in that style. But like, I was just sitting there thinking how much this is just like YouTube videos I used to watch of like people going to spooky places, but it didn't really do anything unique. Like, it didn't do anything that I was like, that like, if you have to pay to watch the movie, so like, it didn't do anything where I was like, oh yeah, I got my money's worth out of it, you know? I think that's what gets me, really. Like, if this was just a movie they made and they uploaded it to their YouTube channel, because other than some, like, nudity right at the end, it could have just been that. I don't think I would have a problem with the movie, but because to watch it, you either had to see it in theaters, which I almost did. I almost drove, like, 30 minutes just to go watch it in theaters. I'm kind of glad I didn't do that. But you either have to watch it in theaters, rent it now, or get Shudder, which not a lot of people have. But I don't really see like why you would pay to watch this. There's nothing in this movie that hasn't like already been done 100 times. Like, if you watch pretty much any found footage movie, it kind of just hits the same beats as like all of those, you know? There's nothing in it that like feels unique to this movie. Like, it doesn't feel like they had an idea. It feels more like they just said, hey, we have camera equipment and like, let's go make movies with our friends, which, don't get me wrong, that's not really a bad thing. I understand that. There is nothing better than making movies with your friends, trust me. And it's also the most annoying thing ever, but there's nothing better than making movies with your friends. So I get that, but I guess I just don't really see the difference between this and just making like a movie for YouTube, because there's nothing really like cinematic here. There's no crazy twists or turns I've never seen. There's nothing like where I'm like, oh yeah, I want to see that on the big screen. So I guess I'm just kind of confused of why they made this movie. Was it like a, yeah, let's make movies with our friends, or like, was it a, we could get money out of this type of scenario? I don't really know what the point of the movie was. And I'm not trying to be like gatekeeping or anything. Like, you can make, it's your art, you can do whatever you want, but like, it's just that asking people to pay money for it was something that I was like, what was the point of that? Because there's nothing there like you would like want to pay to see, you know? Getting into the quality of the actual movie itself, like I said, there's nothing in here that I haven't like seen 100 times over. There's no like huge twists or turns. There wasn't really any interesting characters. As far as I'm aware, they're all playing like exaggerated versions of themselves. And it wasn't really scary. It wasn't really funny. It was just kind of generic. It was just kind of a generic horror, like, found footage thing. And the only real reason I would assume anyone would watch this was for the YouTubers in it. And if you're a fan of them, you either were already gonna see the movie or have seen the movie. So, I mean, just go check it out if you're a fan of them. And if you're not and you just wanted to like a spooky horror movie, I'd recommend skipping this one. It's not that it's like bad or anything, it's just, it doesn't really offer anything new. Watching horror movies from my Letterboxd watch list, and tonight we're watching Inferno. This is a Dario Argento movie, and I'm really excited because I don't know anything about this movie. I've seen Suspiria. Out of the Dario Argento movies, I've seen Suspiria, which was really good. I saw Deep Red, which was great. And I've seen Opera, which was pretty good. So I don't know what to expect. I don't know anything about this movie. We're just gonna check it out. Okay, so I watched Inferno last night, and I actually had no idea that was a sequel to Suspiria. I didn't read that, apparently. But yeah, I liked it. It's not as good as Suspiria, but it's the same kind of thing. I think I just like Dario Argento's, like, style, like, his directing style. Like, if you've seen Suspiria, Deep Red, all his movies feel like nightmares. Like, they have that, like, dream logic. They feel like colorful neon nightmares. So yeah, don't expect realistic logic. But if you've seen Suspiria and you like his style, definitely check this one out. It's pretty good. Oh, but just a warning. There is a pretty long scene of, like, animal cruelty. It's not real, and it doesn't really look real, but, like, it made me very uncomfortable, and it takes a lot to get me uncomfortable, so if you're sensitive to that sort of thing, I don't know, beware. But hey, if you like Dario Argento or his style, check this out. Once again, we're watching horror movies from my Letterboxd watch list, and tonight we're watching The Frighteners. I just wanted a fun horror movie, just a chilled, laid back experience, you know? I didn't want anything too deep, too dark. Just wanted to have a good time, and I think this one I think this one's gonna be like that. And I'm also interested to see this one because it's a Peter Jackson movie, but Peter Jackson pre Lord of the Rings. So, I'm excited to check it out. Yep, that is what I was in the mood for. Yeah, The Frighteners. I really liked it. I thought it was super fun. I love the way Peter Jackson shoots action scenes. I think it's super energetic, like just very very alive, and yeah, it was really good. For anyone who doesn't know, The Frighteners is about a paranormal detective. Like he sees dead people and he tries he pretends to be a ghostbuster basically. He has friends who are dead and he sees them. They follow him around, they haunt the place. He goes in, pretends to be a ghostbusters type dude and solve the haunting and put him away or whatever. But he's really like a scam artist. He really does see dead people, but the hauntings are fake. Because he has his ghost friends do it. Until one day, some mysterious death starts happening, and it's a paranormal thing, and he has to solve the murders, basically. Yeah. Michael J. Fox, he's starring in this movie. I haven't seen him in anything outside of Back to the Future. He's super good in this. Like, I knew him as Marty McFly and nothing else, so it's really fun to see a different thing he was in. This is like a really good starter horror movie, like something you could watch with the whole family. If you have somebody who's not really into horror but they want like the spooky vibes, this is a really good pick. Yeah. Anyway, I really enjoyed this movie, so check it out. Okay, so Letterboxd watch list horror movies, and tonight it is Pontypool. The only thing I know about it is that it's a zombie movie, and I love zombie movies, so we're watching Pontypool. Okay, so Pontypool, not quite what I expected. It's not quite a zombie movie. It's a zombie type virus, I guess, but it's a virus that infects you through sound, which is an interesting idea, and it takes place entirely in this radio broadcast, news radio broadcast thing place, where they record the news broadcast here on car radio or whatever. There was definitely a better way to explain that, but you know what I mean. It takes place there, and they're getting the news from that room because he has to, report the news through the radio. And we basically get this whole end of the world narrative entirely from that room, which is really interesting. And I thought it was really interesting. It kind of lost me towards the end when, I don't want to spoil it, but towards the end, the infection zombie type people, they come to them. I don't know if that's giving too much away or not. And I feel like it kind of lost me around there. I liked it better when they were just hearing about stuff and kind of putting together what was going on when they were reporting the news. Because I felt like that was a really interesting way of doing it. And then around then it kind of becomes a normal we're trapped in a location type of end of the world movie. But I still thought it was really interesting and worth checking out. Letterbox watch list horror movies. Watching horror movies from my Letterbox watch list, and tonight it is Alice, Sweet Alice. I don't really know anything about this movie other than it's from the 70s, which is probably my favorite decade of movies. Like, I don't know why, I really like movies from the 70s. Like, I feel like every decade has its own, like, vibe, and I just really like the vibe of movies from the 70s, and specifically horror movies from the 70s, and specifically slashers. That's my favorite genre, and I think that's what this is. So, we're gonna check it out. Okay, so I know I've missed quite a few days. I've been busy, but we're back on track now, and tonight we watched Alice, Sweet Alice, and I I was loving the movie. Like, I was really into it for like the first 2/3, and that because like I was really loving it because like it's not what I expected. It's it's not really. It wasn't really a slasher movie. It was more of a like a family drama that like it's about. It was more about a family that was like living with a kid who is like a psychopath, and or like a crazy kid, and like the parents didn't believe she did what everybody was saying she did, and like they were trying to figure it out, but like the parents weren't believing it, and then they were investigating, and it was really interesting. It was something unlike. It wasn't the typical type of thing you would expect from a movie like this, and I was really into it. And then there's like a reveal about 2/3 through, not 2/3. Yeah, there's a reveal towards the end of the movie, and then the movie becomes not about what I just said, and becomes about kind of a different thing, and that other thing is just way less interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It was okay. It was really great, and then I don't know. That one kind of made me lose interest when that happened. Um, Especially since the drama was like really well written. The acting was over the top, but it was really good, and like the cinematography was fantastic. The whole movie looks gorgeous. But yeah, the reveal and then the way it wrapped up just didn't really do it for me. So yeah, that was Alice, Sweet Alice. Yeah, I'm sick, but you know what? Horror movies for my Letterboxd watch list, and tonight we're watching Strange Harvest. It's a new one. Heard it's pretty good. It's supposed to be a found footage movie, which is not usually the my type of genre, but you know what? We're gonna watch it. Okay, I'm gonna keep this short because I have a headache and I want to go to bed. But yeah, Strange Harvest. I liked it a bit. It's a mockumentary about like a fictional killer that like has some like like supernatural stuff going on. It's really well put together. It's a believable documentary style thing. There's a few parts where like there's not very good effects, but other than that, it reminded me a lot of like Lake Mungo or like the Poughkeepsie tapes, I think it's called. Yeah, so if you like that sort of thing, you should check this out. It's pretty good. We're watching horror movies from my Letterboxd watch list, and tonight we're watching Ring, or Ringu. It's the original version of The Ring, the non-American one, which I have seen before. I've seen the American The Ring, but I've never seen the original, I think, Japanese version. And I am excited to do so. So let's check it out. All right, so last night I watched Ringu, and it was good. I like it slightly better than the American version. That version. Uh, that version's good. I've just never really cared for it that much. But yeah, this was really good. It's clearly more of a low budget movie, but I feel like that adds to the creepiness of it. And like, I feel like the story was told. It was simplified here, but it was told a little bit better, you know? And I think you guys all know the end scene, right? Where, like, with the TV and the girl. Yeah, I think that's creepier in this one. But just like the other one, it's good. I know a lot of people love it, but I just thought it was alright. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was anything amazing. Maybe this story is just not really my thing. But yeah, Ringu. It's good. Check it out. Yeah, the reason I didn't get every day of October is mostly because general life stuff. I would, just do life and work, and then I would come home late, and I would either hang out with my family or I would just crash and not want to do anything. So yeah, I did pretty good given the circumstances. October started out so promising, and then it then it went terribly. I had a terrible time. Uh, my favorite time of year didn't really go as I wanted it to, but hey, that is life, and you know what? It can only get worse. So here's hoping for a better future, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna keep doing letterbox watch list stuff, but hopefully try and do it not as frequently so I can get actual like reviews out. But yeah, if you're interested in that, go follow me on TikTok and subscribe here. And yeah, that's about it. I don't really know how to end YouTube videos, so see ya.